asset. Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best. There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best. Okay, it's not like,
man. Thank goodness.
Welcome to the HEX Late Show. It's 43 OG here with you on a Tuesday evening. Let me just open my cold beverage. Sparkling water with a hint of raspberry. Very refreshing. What's going on, guys? What an awesome week. What an amazing week. These candles have been green, they've been large, and they've been reoccurring, which are the type of green candles that I like. So we know that only like a couple of weeks ago, HEX was both HEXs were below the 1 cent mark. They were both below the 1 cent mark. And in the course of the last week, what we've seen both hexes pump over the 1 cent into the 1 cent range. Now, I'm not sure if they're both there at the moment. We should go have a look. I know EHEX is probably just right on the cusp of that 1 cent mark. But I can see that HEX on PulseChain is well and truly in the 1 cent range. It's 1.68 cents, which is awesome to see. I'm just going to play you a quick clip from last week. It was me and Tangent talking about this very, very topic for per T-share. So we've got 8.8 of a cent. I'd really love to see both over a cent. It still pains me to see HEX under a cent. It pains me.
Dude, do you know what I love is the fact that we were on the record from weeks ago saying, like, holy shit, I'm very panicked and FOMO-y that I need to increase my HEX bags before this thing fucking takes off. Like, I knew that this day would come where people would just recognize that. And then all it takes is like, and I know, look, this has only just started. This pump actually on HEX only just took us back to what was lost in price over the recent history. So this is not something where it's like, oh my God, it's too late now. We haven't even got to the starting line, in my opinion. We've literally, this pump has just got us back to where the kind of like floor is. But my attitude is the same. I don't want to be in a position in months from now where I didn't end up with a bigger HEX bag from the price going down so much, particularly Ethereum HEX. So, that's what we were saying, or that's what I was saying a few weeks ago, that ETH HEX was my focus and I wanted to build my bag. And now hopefully these pumps continue and we can be proven right.
Yeah, so that was a clip from last week where it started off with me, just, I guess, just wishing out loud, thinking aloud and wishing out loud that we could get over a cent for both hexes. And, you put it out there, you put it into the universe, and less than a week later, we're over a cent. Let me just grab Sammy Chica. What's going on?
Hey, how are ya?
Awesome. How are you?
I'm really good. Hey, everybody. How's everyone going? Enjoying the pumperoonie?
Oh, it's been so good to have like green candle after green candle after green candle. It feels so good, doesn't it?
No, it's awesome. And you asked for it last week on the show, 43.
Look, let's be honest. I've been asking for it every week in my mind for the last 104 weeks. So
I know, right?
Finally, we're here.
Well, my mum rang me tonight and she said, "Oh, gee, Bitcoin's gone crazy. Should I sell some?" I said, "No, Mum, hold off. It's going to go higher." And I told her about the Bitcoin ETF possibly getting approved. And she was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." She's 73, 74. But she decided not to sell some of the Bitcoin. She's going to hold off till 2025. But this is a time where you get those people calling you and messaging you saying, "Oh, crypto's going up. What should I buy? What should I buy?"
And it's just the beginning. It's gonna get worse.
Oh no!
As prices go up, more people will be in your DMs.
Well, I think this bull market's going to be different with BlackRock in it, which is one of the biggest players in the entire world. It's just going to make it a mammoth. It's not going to be like your average bull run that we've had over the last 10 years, 11, 12 years.
Yeah,
it's going to be different, I think.
How do you think? Like, is there any particular way that you think it's going to be different, or do you mean like just the very nature that such a big player's in there? It's just going to change it in a way that we can't anticipate.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really anticipate it, but having BlackRock involved has basically been a catalyst for other institutional investors to get in, and we can see that. We're seeing that every day with these new ETF requests, and that of course just brings everyone else in. It brings retail investors, it brings mum and dad investors, it brings
in superannuation funds, it brings like all these these investment funds can now not have to worry about holding private keys and just go in and like invest in an ETF, which is sort of, so I'm always in two minds about on one, that the part of me that just is a purist is just like, fuck all of them. I'd prefer like, everyone holds their own keys and like, that's how we proceed. But then the other side of, I can't help but love green candles. So, what are you going to do? You can't have your cake and eat it too, can you?
Exactly. But you know what, 43, what goes up must come down. And we've seen a lot of sideways action, So, I mean, yeah, what Bitcoin hit 35K today, BlackRock's still buying. It's dragging PulseChain up with it. That's what I think. But, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen. Are they going to keep buying Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin going to go back to 30K or lower? And will the rest of the market follow it? That's the question, I think, right now. But obviously, it's
very early. Like it's very early as far as the cycle goes. It's very early. Now, could we see everything happen early in this cycle?
Well, if it's the sheer magnitude to what it actually could be, if they're predicting a $7 trillion crypto market this bull run, then, this could just be the snowball effect, starting a little bit earlier than a usual cycle.
Wow. That would be crazy. A $7 trillion crypto, that's all of crypto, like market cap for all of crypto, right? 7
Yeah, all of
trillion,
crypto. At the moment, it's at $1 trillion. It's been sitting
trillion.
around $1 trillion throughout the whole bear. So what? Basically, the whole thing's 7x's.
Yeah.
Crazy. Predicted. I mean, it's not, it's not set in stone. It's just.
Do you remember what it got to last time? Did it get to 3?
Yeah, I think it did get to 3. I can't remember.
There should be. I should bring up a chart. Hey,
yeah, bring up a chart.
Crypto market cap.
I should tweet us out.
Crypto market cap chart.
Hi, Dorsey 78.
Does anyone out there know where about 3 trillion? That's what I thought. Yeah, Dorsey 78. Thanks, mate. About 3 trillion. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So, based on that, if it was to get to 7 trillion, yeah. Look, either way, it's going to be that's going to be some big pumps for things like HEX. This is something I was looking at this week. So, from 2013 to I think it was December 2013 to December 2017, there was actually, I should bring this up rather than talking about it. Before I do that, I want to bring up the chart, the PulseChain chart here. So I was just looking at the PulseChain chart before, and we're sitting on this figure here of 1.67 cents. But this was the all-time high here, all this wick up here to 4.3 cents. But look, that's really like an outlier. I think that we can safely say that in the low threes was sort of the real, I mean, that's the all-time high, but this is sort of where it was I always think like that. It's like, am I really going to count this massive wick here that no one got to sell?
So when was that? What day did it hit 4 cents?
That was on the 20th of May.
Oh, back
but it was,
then.
But it was like, this is a 15-minute wick. This 15-minute wick. And
that was when we forked as well, wasn't it?
That was like
before.
I think we forked on the 10th or the 12th. So that was only like a little bit over a week after. We just had this massive pump, and then we corrected. Like, look at this green, the volume there down the bottom. But look, if you look at 3.3, that's sort of where, we came back to, and then we touched that. I think we could get that in this sort of run. It would be nice to get up to like, and it would be also nice to be able to say at some stage soon that PulseChain has hit new all-time highs. And that's not going to be hard, I don't think. I don't think that's going to be hard. What do you reckon?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's done really well considering the whole situation, but I guess there's also a lot of uncertainty with, the Richard Hart SEC case. I mean, look, we're all hoping this gets stopped.
I've got to be honest with you. I'm less fussed about that than ever. I really am.
Good. It's good to see you bullish. And when we went to Sydney for the Aussie meetup, and hey everyone for the meetup, a lot of the Aussies, it was the same sort of sentiment. Like, everyone just really wasn't too worried about it.
Like, look at this. Look at the chart. Look at that. Great. Like, look at all this. These are daily candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look at that.
Beautiful.
That's insane. That is such a massive pump. From 0.0068. So it's pumped us a whole cent. It's pumped a whole cent since the 16th. So this is 8 days. In 8 days, it's pumped 1 whole cent. And this is the thing about crypto. This is not even that. I mean, it's a big deal, but this is not even that much of a big deal in crypto. Oh, look, it just
No,
pumped.
it's not.
It just pumped like 200% or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a big deal, but it's not even like, you know what these things can do? Like, these things can move, like HEX could easily move multiple cents and has done in the past in the course of a few days, in the course
So
of a
what
day.
about that's Hex on Pulse. What did Hex on Ethereum do in regards to green daily candles?
It's very similar. So on the 16th, we were, where were we? We're about 0.0028. And then we're at 0.0099. I mean, come on, EHEX, let's get over that 1 cent mark.
But look at that big green dilly, like that's amazing. And you know, it
So we got up to about on this, we got up to 1.1 cents. 1.1.
we?
Yeah, so we almost pumped. We didn't quite pump a whole cent in 8 days on the EHEX, but we came very close to pumping a whole cent. Very, very close to it.
Tangent's in the house.
I can see Tangent is here.
Let our darling in.
But I can't. Are you there, mate? I'm sorry, your camera.
Oh shit!
There you go.
Sorry, that's my fault. My fault. My camera had a cover over it.
How are you, mate?
Sorry, I'm late. I actually told you guys that I would definitely be on time. Let me just turn this thing on. How is everyone? I'm calm and ready.
Bro,
Good.
I'm very, very, very excited, and I mean, look, 8. What is it? 8, 9 green daily candles in a row on both HEX charts. That is something to be very excited about. Have we had that? When was the last time we had 8, like 10, like maybe did we have that at the start of the year? Let's have a look. Do we have that here?
Look, for me, it felt like a finish line that's also the starting line. But if you're in the Tang Gang, you were already just sitting, waiting at the finish line, waiting for everyone else to get there, to start the race.
Look, like I'm looking at this chart from before the 12 cent mark earlier on this year in March the 23rd, 22nd, early on this year, where we hit 23rd, where we hit 12 cents.
Mm-hmm.
There's no 9 days of green candles. Look at what we've just had here. This is insane, dude.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days of green candles on HEX.
Yeah, just the beginning though. Like, as in, we've only just recovered the last sort of drop.
Yeah,
this
but
is
just
still
the
power.
Definitely.
I'm with you though. Like, I'm with you that nothing matters.
This is crazy.
Now. Once you're in the hyperbull, nothing matters. So it doesn't matter if there's FUD. It's like bad news will do absolutely nothing. So we don't have to worry about the SEC shit anymore, even though it's generally good news. Basically, the Tang Gang started this bull market. I genuinely believe that. And now we basically are immune to any kind of negativity or
Bro, I'm going to call you on your bullshit.
What?
Tang Gang didn't start any fucking thing.
Dude,
BlackRock started this shit. You guys, can I tell you what you guys have done?
The Tang Gang definitely
I'm not throwing shade. You guys,
I mean, I'm happy to debate it. I mean, I don't want to talk about the Tang Gang too much because it's just too OP. But like, that stands for overpowered for those of you that don't game. But I'm happy to debate it. Like, but the Tang Gang.
I'm just going to tell you my perspective, and then I don't really even. I don't think I need to debate it because I don't believe that we would find consensus or. I'm happy just to say my perspective is that I think the bigger players pumping like BTC and Ethereum, and it's coming through to. However, this is not me throwing shade at the Tang Gang. I just think that to say that the Tang Gang to say that the Tang Gang is responsible for it, in my mind, is probably delusions of grandeur. However,
not really. Like we have objective, like, so normally these things are quite difficult to prove, but we have like objective evidence that points to that. So but anyway, yeah. So I shouldn't have said I believe that the Tang Gang started the bull market. I probably should have worded it a little bit stronger than that and said they definitely started the bull market.
Look, that's I think the Tang Gang are going to be great for drawing in eyes into PulseChain, because you guys are an active community on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I think that people are going to see that and take notice, and hopefully they come in and play on PulseChain, and that is the beginning of their PulseChain experience. And then
at a minimum, you would have to admit that the pricing led. So the Tang Gang's stuff was already going up and like explosively, like up, grinding up, and then parabolic before the entire rest of the market. So that's something that can't be disputed because it's on the charts. Then as to whether that actually started the bull market or not, we do have other evidence as well. But yeah, you know, what's crazy is we've now got 2 real world partnerships. So we've brought in a famous metal, like heavy metal artist, who's going to basically bring in any of his network connects that he's got from Sony and other industry connects that he has had from like over 16 years in the industry. This guy's no joke. He has performed with all of the major, any heavy metal artist that you have heard of, he has performed with them. That's how serious this guy is. And the Tang Gang onboarded him to PulseChain, as well as Playboy models that left Playboy. So that's a second, like, really serious real world connect, which is just super crazy.
That's awesome, dude. Hey, I wanted to show you guys a trading view chart, but I'm trying to get it up. I'm trying to get the trading view chart up. Where are you?
So anyone
I can grab it if you need.
Can you? Can you
get what chart do you want?
I want the Bitstamp BTC chart.
Oh, is that the one that's got like the longest history? Is that the?
Yep, that's the one with the longest history. Sorry, Sammy. What were you saying?
So did anyone feel sorry for the people who dumped all their HEX over the last
No. Fuck no. What were they thinking? Like,
I know.
I've been telling everyone that we're in a bull market since the start of the year, and it's been obvious. It's pretty obvious when you're in a bull market because the prices are going up, like as in for the major assets like Bitcoin. By the way, speaking of, I'm actually repping Bitcoin today. So I've got this chart, dude, and let's just see.
So
this
Bitcoin,
this is the all-time index actually. So this is the one that's got daily candles for the entire history of Bitcoin. Do you want the entire chart? Like, do you want the full
entire
history?
Yeah, I was going to bring it up on mine, but mine, I just couldn't find the went to the website and
all good. That's it there. So I mean, it's got some like crap on it. But...
Can you go all the way back? Can you go back?
That's 20. That's all the way to 2009, dude. That's the whole chart.
Can you possibly get rid of all the crap? There's a remove.
That's log.
There's a remove all the crap button.
Yeah, we can get rid of all this shit.
There's an I. No. There's actually a remove all the crap button.
Oh, where? Oh, this.
Is it that one?
So it just hides it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about that. That's cool. I'm pretty new to using TradingView. It's good to learn these. These tools
I know
before
how
the
to.
Hyperball.
That's
the whole chart.
This is what I want you to do, right? I want you to go back to, I think it's the 1200 high, the first 1200-ish. I think it's in 2013, December 2013, right? So I want us to zoom in on from that time for the next 4 to 5 years. Yeah, so that's good. Maybe stretch it out like vertically a bit and just bring it down so we can see it. So let's have a look at this. If you can go back to the start of the high point in 2013.
Oh, that's until today. Like as in, so that's the the
So-
high that you're talking about.
Yeah, so this is the high that I'm talking about. So let's look at that. If you can just put your mouse over that for a second,
Yep.
and then just like go horizontally across. Where do we touch? Where do we re-meet that point?
Over here, that's March 2017.
So it's 3 years,
Yep.
essentially.
Yeah, 3.5 years.
I think it's just 3 years. Like, 'cause if you go, it's December.
Well, yeah, that was the end of 2013. So you've got 2014, 15, 16, and the first third. I get so just over 3 years. You're right.
Yeah, so it's like just there, and that's how long it took for BTC in that cycle to get back to
For
all-time highs.
For top buys to break it even.
Yep, for top buys to break even. But then what happened is from that point onwards, from December, you had one more year, essentially, from December 2016 to December 2017, you had another year of just up.
Yeah, the hyperball.
So yeah. All right. So just let's keep that present in our minds for a second. Let's keep that present. Now, can we go to Ethereum?
Yep. Oh man, fuck Ethereum. Like I don't say that lightly. Like
no, but I want to just look at this.
Do you know which one's got hit?
Yeah,
do you know what one's got? Oh yeah. Oh, they've got an all-time history index for this as well.
Okay. So if you go to 2018.
Dude, that chart is wrecked. Imagine holding this dog shit.
So just go to 2018.
Is that this? Yeah. So that's the start, 2018.
And what's that?
That was the end of that bull market.
So if you get to the top of that.
Sad times.
January 2018. So
scroll
across horizontally.
I can just measure it. Although
I just want to see where was it? It was January 2021. So once again, that's 3 years to break even, right? On the top. So 3 years to hit all-time highs again. And then from there, what were we? Well, sorry, what was that January 2021? Or December?
Yeah.
And then when did we hit all-time high? Like
end of
almost a year, not quite a year, a little bit shorter than a year. So now let's can we bring up let's bring up the HEX chart. We don't have a let's bring up the HEX chart.
Oh, okay. And did someone have a trick? Was it Crypto Coffee or Motley had a trick for like how you easily get the full chart? One of them tweeted out, I always get them confused. One of them tweeted out saying there's a hack that you can, rather than having to manually change shit to V1, there's some way that you just see the whole, what the hell? HEX TVL on, wait, what? HEX TVL? What the shit? Have you guys seen this?
No.
Motherfucker. That's wild. So this chart starts, someone's created a chart of the total value locked in.
Okay,
so look,
let's not get sidetracked though. I want to make a point though. So if we can bring up a HEX, I just want the HEX Ethereum HEX.
HEX against ETH.
So I can probably do this without the chart because I know that we hit all-time high in 2021 August, September, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think
August,
that might
September.
Is that it?
Yeah,
you're on a monthly. Can you go down to a daily or a weekly?
It's not really the whole chart.
It's hexchart.com. Someone in the comments just said that, literally.
Yeah, I'm not going to random websites while I'm live though. Sorry. But like, as in, not that it's a random website. It's just one I've never been to before. So
can you go daily or weekly?
That's
it's Tin Top who's saying there's a combined chart there.
This is actually there's hexfire.io has a combined chart. Anyway, is that enough of a chart for you to make your point?
Yeah. Where are we here? Yep. So where was our all-time high? Was it? It was 2021.
Yep. Here it is.
September 2021.
So
I'm just gonna say if HEX was to do something along the lines of what both Bitcoin and Ethereum have done, which is go like reach its all-time high after about 3 years. And how that happens, like whether that's both together or not, and then in the year after that, or maybe a little bit less than the year after that, we pump to new and find our top.
Dude, I don't think you can make this analogy, like as in, because
I'm going to make it. That's my analogy. That's my sort of aspirational. I hope that happens.
Yeah. I mean, I'm wishing for it as well, dude. I'd be mega rich, but like, unfortunately, when an altcoin gets smashed by like over 99%, it's a miracle. Like, remember how there's only 5 coins that have ever come back against BTC?
Do not compare Richard Hart altcoins.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm giving it the very special treatment of saying that it will make this list of literally a handful of coins, less than 5, that have ever made new all-time highs against Bitcoin. I think HEX is going to join that club this cycle. However, joining that club and doing what you're talking about is like, that's another level of like amazingness that that we're all going to be like, we're all going to be on like private yachts if it even just makes it back to fucking previous all-time high. So like,
can I tell you, I would like one of those, the yachts.
Oh yeah. There's a coin.
Pictures. I would want one of those.
There's golden yacht.
One of those.
Golden yacht. What do you want? You want a yacht coin?
No. I just want a yacht that looks like one of the yachts in the pictures.
Oh yeah, dude. Everyone that buys that coin gets. Everyone that buys that coin will end up with one of those golden yachts. But that's not a promise from me. That's a promise from Richard.
So the point I wanted to make by bringing up those 3 charts and going through that whole process was that we are not quite. We're before the 3-year mark in HEX. It's only been like two years and 1 month since the all-time high. So the reason I'm doing this comparison is that if we were to follow that sort of the same trajectory as what Bitcoin did and what Ethereum did. Don't throw shade at my shit right now, man. Dude, I'm making an important point on the HEX Late Show.
You can't pick the 2 best performing assets in crypto ever and then use them as the only 2 examples that you're comparing to.
Bro, HEX was one of the best performing. Is the best performing at 10,000x.
Hey,
dude, I love HEX. I love HEX, but I can show you 1,000 charts that say the opposite of what
you were drugged to the hilt on the Tangang with the
Tangang
citrus shit in your brain.
Yeah.
So fucking hardcore that you've forgotten how hardcore.
Not possible. There's HEX in the name of HOA. It's in the name. You can't forget the heritage. It's not possible.
Yes. No, you can't forget it, but you're forgetting.
Lest we forget.
You're thinking that you're talking like hexes can only do this shit in one cycle.
No, I didn't say that, dude. I didn't say that. And I don't think that.
I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying like,
I hope
you have to be,
I know you love HEX.
Like, you have to be more balanced, man. Like, you can't take 2 charts of the best cyclical performing coins and apply it to a coin that we have no cyclical knowledge of how it performs in subsequent markets. I think HEX is going to rip, because look, there's a lot of dummies that watch, right? So I don't want people being like, oh, Tangent's bearish on HEX. Not true, right? HEX is going to rip. HEX is going to obliterate. HEX is going to tear faces, right? Not financial advice, whatever. All I'm saying is this comparison that you're making, I think, is the expectation that could create, that it's going to go to all-time high and then have a parabolic phase from there, is like based on 2 charts that are effectively the only 2 coins ever in the history of crypto to do that.
Well, actually, dude, no, hang on. That's not true, because Ethereum didn't do that. No, I didn't say parabolic, because Ethereum went to 1,500, like it regained its $1,400 all-time high, and then only did a 3-point-something X from there. So it didn't do parabolic shit after that. And I'm not saying that HEX necessarily has to do that. What I'm saying is that
it could.
No. If we followed that same like 3 year to all time to regain our all time high, like I'm going to call it a reverse redemption arc of HEX. That would be something, man. That would be something. And with the HEX community, and with you know the Tang Gang and all the other you know sub communities in HEX and PulseChain, I don't see why we can't we've got a lot of branches out there. I don't see why this can't really be out there and a lot of people know about it. I mean, whether people will throw shade at the outrage marketing or whatever that Richard Hart did, but you know what? I think that planted a lot of seeds in a lot of people's minds who are in crypto. And when we get into that part of the cycle where people just start throwing money at crypto, when people start throwing money at crypto, they're all going to remember HEX, and HEX is going to have lots of green dildos like what we saw in that chart before when we were counting all 12 green candles.
I've been getting messages about HEX and Bitcoin, dude. Like, as in, I know HEX is going to rip ass. Like, it's guaranteed. Like, that's not according to me. That's according to Richard. So the thing is, though, like, yeah, I don't even think we need miracles, though. Like, I think we can have a more balanced.
I don't think what I've said is miracle. I'm not saying that. Like, I don't think what I said was miracle. Like, even if we were to like do something similar to what Ethereum did, regain all-time highs and do like a 3 something X from there. I wouldn't say that that's not like that's across both both EHEX and Pulse Hex as well. I mean, that would be my most conservative.
What is it, Dave? What's across both chains? What's your next prediction for all-time high?
I think that we could see like a 180 across
what a
$1.80 or something like that. I think that's possible. Like, that's what Ethereum did.
It could. That's what I saw a lot of people talking about in the last month.
I think that's conservative. I've seen people on Twitter saying things that are way, way higher than that, like things that almost seem inconceivable. Like I've seen like fractals.
They're called fractals
of things that yeah. But that's like, you know, what if Bitcoiners have been saying $1 million Bitcoin? We're already supposed to have $1 million Bitcoin.
Should have already been.
So
there.
It's not like
it was suppressed.
My prediction for Bitcoin is next bull cycle all-time high is 128,000.
Bitcoin was manipulated. Whenever prices go down, it's manipulation. When it goes up, you're just a genius. But Bitcoin was definitely manipulated.
Yeah, we know that through FTX.
True. Yeah, actually true. I was actually joking around, but you're absolutely right, Sammy.
It was. But there was other coins that they also were doing as well, not just Bitcoin. They were doing it to other coins as well.
Pricks.
But I reckon Bitcoin's going to hit 120, 130,000 next cycle, and that's only my opinion.
Yeah.
But HEX, I mean, look, $1.15 across both chains is conservative for me. If it's more, fantastic. Some HEXers think it's going to go to parity, and I think it could go close, but I don't.
Look at what it's already done. Like if you look at the EHEX PHEX chart, Sammy, it's like it's a bit like that BTC GBTC premium. It like once everything goes bullish, the premium closes, right? I think this is something similar. By the way, holy shit! Another thing I was
only
right
11.
Dude, I never get tired of being right.
It's only 11% off.
PHEX maxis fucking wrecked. Bears wrecked. Fucking like this shit. What's annoying is the months and months and months and months and months it takes to be proven right. And in that period, you've just got dumbasses chirping at you constantly, being like, oh, Maxi's never going to go down or whatever. And it's just like, oh my God. So anyway, proven right again.
Oh, so Tangent, I want to ask you, what do you think like the combined HEX?
Combined. Yeah, I keep forgetting this cycle too. So like, even though I fuck with both daily, I just kind of now in my mind, I think I've just separated them into separate assets. It's kind of been long enough that I now treat them. I trade them and treat them like two different assets. But also actually, you know what? Now my portfolio now has, in terms of my staking behavior, my trading behavior, my everything has changed so much now that thinking about a combined price now to me is just not relevant. Like it was relevant at the
Okay,
start.
so give me two separate prices, which I will combine manually at the end of the discussion, so we can get that.
Oh,
price.
dude, I've
Because
got no
that's
idea.
what
43
Like, I've
says
got
$1.80.
genuinely no idea. What
I
was the
reckon.
question?
I reckon $1.80.
Sorry, you go, Sammy.
I reckon
I
$1.80.
reckon 115 across both. He's one.
That's only a 2x from all-time high, roughly.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, Tangent?
Dude,
No one's gonna like. This is
I
not.
don't care.
No,
I
we're
don't
not.
care if people think
This
my
is
shit
not.
is
No one's
financial
holding
advice.
us to
It
this.
always
We're just
isn't.
talking
But,
shit. We don't. We've got no idea. You know.
So
we got
for
no
me,
idea.
it's actually an all or nothing thing. Like I'm not going to have a target that's sort of higher, but by a small amount. It either totally gets faded and doesn't even make it back to that all-time high, and I lose that bet against Satoshi stack a coat mode, or it goes so fucking far past it that it's like ridiculous. So I'm like, can I take either not even making it back to 50 cents or fucking $10? Like it's one or the other. Like it's not. I don't think it's gonna like pump and go past it, but then just by some weak ass amount. No offense, Sammy. Like
if PulseChain from the all-time low, since it's been on the market since May or whatever, if it hit $1, would that be another 10,000x?
If it hit,
no,
I think.
How many X's would it be?
It would be 100x. It'd be 100x.
Its stack was
if it hit $1.20, it'd be like 100x.
0001. So
sorry,
if you times by 1,000.
No, I'm talking about HEX when it hits the all-time low.
It's a 10,000x to $1, Sammy.
Yeah,
is that what you said?
Yeah,
so you said 10,000 or
yeah,
1,000?
It's a 10,000x. So when it retraced back down to its all-time low in its cycle, once it launched at 0, right? Everything launched at 0, fork, split. I don't know how much PulseChain was at the cheapest, but would that, if it got to $1,
0.0000 4 zeros and a 3 something?
By doing that, you're introducing even more variability into your guess. Like, as in, if you're like, okay, I'm going to estimate what's going to happen to this thing, and then I'm going to estimate what this thing does relative to this thing. So, like, whatever works for you, none of us know, obviously, right? But it's
okay. So Tangent, can I tell you something? Can I just make this one?
Expect the unexpected.
I want to make this one important point, right? When I was showing you the charts of, like, just to bring, like, just round out what I was saying before, the BTC chart, 3 years back to all-time highs to regain all-time highs, and then the next year it did basically an 18x, an 18 to 20x for, if you want, depending on where you want to take it from, right? A 20x to get to the $20,000.
Yeah.
All right. If HEX did a 20x, it would be that $10 mark that you just said. If it
20x
really
from all-time high, though. From
all-time high, which is what BTC did. It did, like, it was 1,000 and then it went to 20 grand, right? Right. This is rough. Like, it did 18x or something, right? Now, if we're looking at Ethereum did like a 3 point something, like a 3.2 or a 3.3x from its like 1,400 something mark to the 4,800. So I think that HEX could like be in that zone of, in that zone. I think it definitely could be in that zone. And look, maybe I'm completely wrong, but I put HEX, just like you made a bet with the
Satoshi stack of coat
hanger.
Yeah, I'm going to win that, dude. I'm going to win that bet.
Yeah. So you made a bet with him because you believe that HEX is something that's so good that
I told you one of only 5 assets to ever do it. But that doesn't mean it's easy.
Yeah. And what? How many?
And it hasn't done it yet.
It's easy, but it's one of how many assets have done a 10,000x?
But that makes it harder, dude. That not easier.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying how many?
Because it's that level that it's got to get back to. If you do a 10,000x, way fucking higher.
Yeah. It's dude. It's a 50x to get back.
Sorry, I can't hear anything.
Do you know what I mean? Like it didn't retrace down 10,000x. It needs like a 40 something x to get back to its all time high. You know what I mean? So that's not even 50x ain't shit in crypto. We all know that. It ain't shit. Especially when there's 12 days of green candles. So I just think that what I was saying before about HEX being, it's in the discussion for something like this happening in this cycle. I think it's in the discussion, and that's all I'm saying. Like, if this is the time before the 3-year mark where we get back to all-time high, if that plays out the way I think it could play out. But I don't know.
I couldn't
I've got
hear anything
no idea.
that you just
no
said,
financial
but
advice.
I will summarize my shit by anything is possible, but don't expect the unexpected. Anything is possible, and HEX can do it, but it won't be easy. Like, as in, it's rare. It's super, super, super rare that coins do that on their second cycle.
It's only a 20x from here, bro.
From what you said, from all-time high.
Yeah. We're only a 20x
So
from
it's a
all-time high.
20x and then another 20x. So it's a 400. So it's a 400x.
No.
To get to what you're talking about.
What?
It needs to do a 400x.
No. What do you mean?
Because the price
I'm confused.
The price you were talking about was 20x from all-time high, and we're 20x.
No. I said no. That was Bitcoin. I also talked about Ethereum, which is the 3.4x after that 4-year.
I think the viewers
high.
More than understand both of our positions. I don't think we need to do this anymore. We agree on some parts and we disagree on other parts.
I don't think you've very clearly articulated what you don't understand about my position.
I understand your position. I just disagree
understanding about it. But what is it that I don't think you've articulated what you disagree with.
I believe I have, and I don't want to spend the whole show arguing about it.
No, but I just don't know what it is, bro. I don't understand what you're not.
All right, let me cut in here. All right, let me say something, guys. Don't worry about it. What I was.
No tangent. Honestly, bro, I don't understand. Seriously, I don't understand what
Sammy might be able to translate to find the miscommunication.
I've been listening to you, but I haven't understood.
Is that if HEX has already done a 10,000x from the bottom, then it could do another 10,000x this bull run. I mean, we don't know, but it could.
Yes,
I think it could probably do that more than PulseChain, to be honest. But then I'm not an expert. So, but yeah, let's move on, guys. What else has been happening?
Are we just going to leave it like that? Are we going to leave it like that?
Yeah, my position is anything's possible, but don't expect miracles. Don't expect shit
I don't know, but I don't think what I said is miracle.
All I mean is
somewhere between what Ethereum did and or somewhere around what Ethereum did or what Bitcoin has done is possible. That's all I'm saying.
All I was trying to do was bring balance back to the framing, to your framing, and say, yes, you've pointed to 2 charts that have done this. There are literally thousands of charts that have not.
And none of them have done 10,000 X's before. So none of them have that power.
That HEX is special. I agree with that. However, we also need to note that the fact that HEX did a 10,000x makes it harder, not easier. It would actually be easier for it to break its previous all-time high if it hadn't gone and done a 10,000x in the last cycle. So they're my only point.
My counter to that point is that we're only... Yeah, but my counter to that point is that we're only a 20x away from all-time highs.
I think this.
You know what I'm saying? Where we are right now, we're only a 20x away from all-time highs. So
right?
That's on both chains because I'm going to count both chains because that's where our starting point was.
So okay, I'm going to put the Bitcoin maxi hat on because I'm wearing the Bitcoin t-shirt. That is worse. Right, so the coins that go down, the amount that HEX went down in the previous cycle normally never get back up again ever, right? And it's never a good. It's from and so now I'm putting my technical analysis hat on, and so I'm not even a Bitcoiner anymore. From a TA point of view, the investment theory, if this goes back to all-time highs, then I will make X dollars, is typically a bad trade. It's very often that is a terrible investment thesis.
Yeah,
and especially
agree.
because these coins typically don't. Like, so, and even assets that are not crypto, this still applies because it's arbitrary. Like, as in, it's just a point on a chart that there's no magnet, there's no guarantee that it'll go to that level. So it shouldn't really be heavily weighted into someone's investment thesis of, oh, if we go back to this level, then I'll make this much money. That doesn't make sense. Like, that's not a solid thesis. And then you're extending on that and saying,
Yeah.
not only does it need to go back to that level, but then it needs to go and do like however many X's on top of that. All the while I'm saying
I didn't say it needs to do
all
anything.
the while I'm saying that HEX is special. I'm not disagreeing
All
with any of
what
those
I was
things.
saying. Yeah. But my point is that I think that it's very conceivable that HEX could do that stuff.
Yes, it's possible.
That's all I'm saying, because we're only at 20. We're only, like I said, we're only at 20x from all-time highs. And if it fit into that sort of template that I'm talking about, that what Bitcoin has done and what Ethereum has done template of that 3-year all-time high to all-time to getting back to that all-time to high position, that would mean that if we did a 20x from here across both chains by September next year, then we're well within that. We're well within that framework or template of what Ethereum did and what Bitcoin achieved as well. So and look, and then what happens beyond there? Who knows, man? Who knows? I mean, I'm definitely hoping it's what you said, and things like go to $10 or things go even further. Like I saw a tweet by Access Alive saying something like, I think it was like $12 or something, like it was a fractal or something of $12. Now, who the fuck knows if things could get that high or not? I don't know.
Did you know that Access is richer than Richard Hart on paper? Yeah.
Really?
He's like a fucking multi-fucking billionaire now.
How?
Well, he launched his own coin. I think he's got like 99.9% of the supply. Some shit. It's got a cap of like multiple billions of dollars. But obviously, like, you can't sell it. Like, you can't. But neither could Richard. So it's like it's not. I mean, I don't know those stats. Don't quote me on that shit. But that's just what I heard.
Oh man, I think Pulse is going to mint many millionaires. I think PulseChain is going to mint many millionaires, man. Of course. Because not just, it's just people will do X's multiples above what PulseChain does on their.
Will they round trip the bag like literally almost everyone did with HEX? So you become a million. Like, do you want to be a multi-millionaire for several months? And it's way more difficult than it sounds to make sure. I definitely didn't expect to come on the stream today and sound bearish. Like that was not on my fucking like midweek bingo card. But
not, dude, I just, after seeing what I've seen on the charts in the last few days, dude, I'm so like excited. And I know we're still a long way. I feel like, dude, I feel like we're still far away from like things getting really crazy. I feel like we're still a long way from that. We could go, it's just the start.
But by the way,
and I hope you don't feel like I was like, pressuring you before about like I just didn't understand what you meant, and I just wanted to. I wanted to get it.
I think it's important to know. I think so. Throughout this bull market, throughout the hyper phase of this bull market, people are going to constantly worry that they're too late, right? And then they're just going to see the shit just like continue going off like a rocket ship. And it's like, I'm too late. Oh, now I'm definitely too late. Oh, yeah, well, I actually wasn't too late, but now I'm definitely too late. Oh, shit, this thing just never stops going up. I'm going to buy it. That's the top, right? So it's like, so I think we need to be careful with whenever we're sounding like really ecstatic about the pumps, we need to keep it in perspective that this entire pump has only gone up what we bled the last, 2 weeks or something like that. It's like if you bought HEX 2 weeks ago, now you're at break even. So it's definitely not too late to be buying crypto. but it feels
I
like it because
agree.
everything's pumped like double-digit percentages. Everything, every asset in crypto has pumped its nut off.
Let's
Love
get
the oranges in the
fucking
name.
rich bitches.
By the way, you guys can do that with your names as well. I'm speaking to the audience here that you can just put wherever you've got an O in your name, you can just put an orange. Let the Tangang know that you are a fan. Yeah, man. So it's bittersweet at the moment because it's like I made a joke that everyone seemed to appreciate in the Tangang where I was like, yeah, sick. PLS is pumping. Now I'm only down like fucking 50%. Like, because it was when it pumped like up to nearly half sack. So it's like you get that dopamine rush of the green candles and then you realize that you're still fucking down horrendous. So it's like this bittersweet section in the market where it's still fine for people who are getting in because they're still getting discounted coins. It's still exciting for the people who are riding the fucking pumps because technically you have more paper wealth than you did yesterday, even though you're still wrecked and down horrendous. So there's cause for celebration, but also cause for like people to not feel like they are too late to the party.
Well,
We're
what
just
goes
getting
up
started.
must come down, right?
Yes. Unless you believe that it's a simulation and that gravity is like not a real thing.
And what you were just saying, Tangent, is a really good argument for why DCA is important. Because if you DCA, you can celebrate these pumps with an actual percentage of your bag that is in massive profit, like in really, really good profit. And you can be really happy about that all the way up as it goes up, you know, if it goes up. I've got a clip here about like there's this professor guy on Twitter who I always watch his videos because they're very interesting. So maybe we can watch this and you guys can let me know what you think.
Modern central banking is that printing money, inflation, grows the economy. This is core to the Keynesian Phillips curve that says there's a trade-off between inflation and employment. That is, if you want prosperity, you print money, and if you print too much, you choke the productive economy, which kills jobs. Note the punchline: if printing money makes us grow, you should do as much as possible. Of course, non-Keynesians know inflation is simply theft, but where does the inflationist growth fallacy come from? In short, it confuses activity with wealth. To illustrate, if Hunter Biden prints $1 million and hits Vegas for the weekend, there will be a lot of busy strippers. It's fantastic for Vegas, a tissue fire of economic growth, an extra $1 million in GDP in however long Hunter's high lasts. Of course, where did the money come from? Well, it was siphoned from every other dollar in the world, like water into wine. So grandma now pays a little bit more for groceries, but Hunter had one hell of a weekend. So activity was created, wealth was not. In fact, it was stolen. Now, there is a way around this, a thought experiment first proposed by Milton Friedman in 1969, helicopter money. You fly a helicopter over the city, dumping out money. It's a thought experiment, remember? Governments, sadly, do not have money helicopters, but they do have stimulus checks. Still, even stimulus distorts. The young and the irresponsible spend it fast, while the old and prudent spend slow. So extra shifts for these strippers, but grandma's grocery store shuts down. Fortunately, we have another thought experiment that can reliably test whether printing makes us rich, called the wallet fairy. This little critter sneaks into every bedroom, bank vault, and payroll department across America on December 23rd, that is the founding of the Federal Reserve, and he draws an extra zero on the money. So you went to bed with $10 in your pocket, you wake up with 100. Your $1,000 checking account is now $10,000. You made $15 an hour at Best Buy, now you make $150. Perfect helicopter money. So, are we rich? Do Best Buy associates buy beachfront mansions? And that's of course not, because everybody sees what happened and changed the price. Houses aren't $400,000, they're $4 million. Bubble teas are $50. So there's no tissue fire because nobody was fooled. The extra zero was too obvious. We've actually had similar situations in reverse. So Mexico in the 90s lopped off 3 zeros off the peso. It was embarrassing having 3,000 per dollar. So now a dollar only bought 3 pesos. What happened? Everybody adjusted overnight. A coffee went from 5,000 pesos to 5. It was completely cosmetic. Nothing changed. Unfortunately, in the real world, inflation is never so obvious as the wallet fairy, which is why that tissue fire happens. It takes time for the new money to circulate. The first recipients are Hunter on the Strip. Some prices can take years, like salaries or contracts, meaning years of stolen trillions and little tissue fires as the first recipients spend. So the entire alleged benefit of inflation, that tissue fire, the Phillips curve, turns out to be entirely based on deception, on people either not realizing what just happened or being last in line for the money. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained. What's next is the inflation propaganda machine will not quit because there's too much money in counterfeiting. Will only stop when the masses see through it, realize that inflation is institutionalized theft that creates nothing but destroys everything it can. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.
So, guys, are the masses starting to see through the inflation deception?
Hopefully more, like hopefully a growing minority.
They're too busy working like slaves, bro, to even watch stuff like that. See?
People are noticing the inflation in the prices, but the question is, do they understand that the root cause of it, that it's because of the inflation of the money supply that's causing it? When you say inflation to people, they will automatically say, oh yeah, everything costs more. And they think that is what the inflation, that's the result of inflation, of inflating the currency. I tell everyone, I have this discussion with almost everyone who will listen to me, and I think a lot of people must think I'm just a loony for that.
Dude.
But I just feel like people need to know about this. Like, countries go down over this shit.
The entire educational system of economics is literally designed to justify the printing of money. And if you tell people that, particularly people that formally studied economics, they will just write it off as a conspiracy theory. So, but it is absolutely true that their shit is illogical, does not make sense, and is literally just all justification for the fucked up shit that they do to use money as a system of control. But that's no surprise, right? Like, that's no surprise that the people funding the education get to manipulate what's in the course content. Same with pharmaceutical companies and medical degrees, etc. Like, it's, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, yeah. I think we can say with a great degree of certainty that in crypto, in Bitcoin, in crypto, we are very educated, or at least very aware of this. Like, compared to like I would say,
our echo chamber
probably
knows this
upwards
shit,
of,
for sure.
Yeah, like more than, of people in crypto, I would say more than 50% know about
it's a
inflation.
talking point that pumps your bags, right? Like, so the reason why crypto people, so we are biased because everyone loves that talking point. They love saying it. They love believing it because it is a reason for why your imaginary internet money should go up in value. But it also happens to be true.
Yes.
But
yes, yeah. It's that's right. Yeah, it's good for your bags, but it comes back to that saying, like, we come for the Lambos and stay for the revolution, and the revolution is to
this is one of the things
not
that people
necessarily
learn once
not
they
have,
arrive and then latch onto if they're going to stick around.
And by the way, I want to throw out that I don't think that inflation in itself is having things that inflate is bad. What's bad is having some weird black box inflation system where just a bunch of guys in a room make up the rules and the rest of the world, like that is the problem with it. Not that like things inflate. Like, it's okay if things inflate and there's a mathematical formula that everyone understands and we all agree this is how it's going to be. That's cool. But when it's just random people, well, not even random, but like selected people who weren't voted in, making decisions for the rest of the world in a non-transparent way, I think that's problematic.
I have this argument with Stacker Coat Mode all the time, and I tell him it is not whether something inflates or not, it's whether or not it has fixed monetary policy. Also, by the way, Bitcoin also inflates. So, like, you've wrecked your own argument to start with.
Exactly.
But even if you hadn't destroyed yourself in a debate sense, I'm wrecking you now. Like, as in fixed monetary policy.
Is that what he said now? Is that what he said?
Yeah. He shut
is that what he said?
being inflationary.
He doesn't know that Bitcoin's inflationary.
No.
What the fuck?
But, so
it's inflating at a
hold up. It's not as
like
insane as it sounds. He's saying
rate.
it never stops. So HEX is inflationary forever. Bitcoin does actually stop and cap out at 21 million.
Yes.
So he thinks the fixed supply is important, but it's actually fixed monetary policy that is important. And anyone who actually studies like these economics principles that you raised in that video know this, like that it's not about it's the monetary policy that becomes the issue. Like you said, a black box where someone can go do some shit and you don't even know what they're doing is not good.
And because the US hold this they've got the privilege of having the world reserve currency, of being the world reserve currency with the US dollar. They, in essence, are basically affecting every other country in the world because they've got the reserve currency. So if a different country is holding US dollar reserves, if the US dollar is inflated, then they're getting their reserves are getting inflated away by the US. So it's this really weird system that it's kind of, I think it's just a remnant of World War II, really, that they came out the victors and they were the strongest, and they're like, oh well, we're just going to control the world reserve currency, and now we're sort of.
I like to make an analogy between the US dollar and a DeFi protocol, and if you just I've seen people do it in an amazing way, and this was pre-AI, by the way, where they go through and they're like, hey, I'm launching this new shit coin, and they lay out all the shit that is the American dollar without actually saying it, and everyone's like, fuck no, I would never fucking touch that shit. Like that is fucked tokenomics. I'm definitely not touching that shit. And they're like, guess what, bitch? It's the US dollar, suck a dick. And like, it's that obvious. It's that obvious. If you just put a crypto DeFi hat on, you would not touch the shit. You would go nowhere near it.
Yeah.
It's like someone saying, hey, I've got this DeFi protocol over here, but I control everything. You can't see shit. And if you have to use it, by the way. And if you don't play by my rules, I'll put you in a fucking cage. That's the short version. Like they obviously go into a bit more detail. It's so fucked. It's so stupid.
So Crypto Class has just said oil to be priced.
Yeah,
in
Bricks doesn't solve it though, because no one trusts their asses. Like,
yeah. I think ultimately, there's got to be something like.
It always comes back to crypto though. Like if people go, hey, I've got this idea. I had this happen literally the other night. I went out to dinner. Someone tagged along to a dinner that I was going to. I didn't realize they were coming. And then they started saying about how they're going to have their own money for this little community and shit. And I assumed the reason they were talking to me about it is because they wanted to make it a crypto and that they were coming to me for advice. And they were like, no, we don't want it to be a crypto. And I'm like, why not? And they're like, oh, just it's got like a bad reputation, and we don't want this to be about greed. We don't want this to be about money. And like, obviously, by this point, I've got a look on my face that is just wanting to slap the shit out of them. But I press on, and it's apparent to me that they have not thought this through. And so I just start unloading. I'm like, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about when it becomes so valuable that there's a fucking honeypot there? And I know that you guys trust each other, but what about for external parties that don't trust you? You're just going to say, trust me, bro. We've got all these dollars in a bank account. Plus, you're pegging this thing to the dollar, which you admit yourself, the reason you're doing this is because the government's fucked. So it's like, I'm like, dude, it's got to be crypto. Like, I know you think the speculation is greedy, but it's like, if you think this through, you will arrive at crypto being the solution.
Yeah. They're just starting at the start of the journey.
Yeah. They haven't.
So I saw someone tweet the other, earlier today that because of the pump in BTC, Coinbase restricted withdrawals to $5,000.
Really?
What? That ain't right.
Yeah. Coinbase.
Oh shit. They might have been doing fractional reserve. Those dirty motherfuckers.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's
time for a bank run.
As
in, if you guys want, it's up to you. Not. I'm not inciting violence. Like,
well, it's almost January, January 3rd, proof of keys day. So we're not far
bro,
away.
I do proof of keys every
think,
damn day. Like, as in, I don't have to do shit on January 3rd.
Bro.
I'm already fucking 100% on my own vibe. Like,
the whole like hexagon PulseChain.
One of the best things that Richard
ecosystem
Hart
is
did.
proof of keys.
One of the best things that Richard Hart did. I think the two things that Eric admitted that Richard Hart did was instill like a no shit coining vibe, which obviously he said completely fucking went out the window once PulseChain launched, where everyone just started buying shit that wasn't HEX. And he thought HEX was shit anyway. So he was like, look, it was the correct education for the wrong asset, was Eric's opinion. And the other one was this, not your keys, not your coins. He did more to progress that. Eric obviously frames that as, well, that was part of his scam, was to present actual good advice, like any good con man or like whatever, where they present you with shit that you're like, oh, wow, that's really good info. And then they pivot into buy my shit, and then it's going to be even better. So you misread, and I'm not saying that's what Richard did, definitely not, but that's how Eric would frame that part of it, to still shit on HEX community.
Yeah. And we know that that's not what,
that's not the case, but it's like it's his framing that you can, so even a scammer can say true statements that are factually correct and can help your life.
Yeah. If you were going to scam, and this is a really easy argument to debunk, because if someone was trying to scam, you would not spend so much time making a smart contract perfect. You know, like the code of it perfect. You could do a much
unless you were
simpler,
doing a long play.
But why would you spend so much time?
The long play gets you more money.
Like,
so if you, it's look at the, I'll give you the extreme example. Look at the guys that they launch a coin and then they just rug it straight away, and they get like a couple of $100. If they were willing to wait and do a longer play, they would make more money. So long play scams work better than short play scams. By the way, I'm not saying that Richard is a scammer. I'm just answering your question. That is why. Like, that is why you would do it. If you were, if you wanted to maintain your rep, particularly if you're doxed as well, right? Notice that extreme example I just gave is when it's anonymous. Like, you don't put your name to shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, you know, how long is a long play though? 6 months in crypto, like 6 months is a long play. Depends what you want to achieve.
Like, if you want multi-billions,
but 4 years,
have to be,
4 years.
Yeah, it might have to be years.
Like,
you might have to be
I just
years.
think that
but is years really that bad as a time frame if you're going to become a literal multi-billionaire? Like, I think that's a pretty good investment. You know, Chappelle Corby made so much money off the book she wrote in jail that it worked out that she earned something crazy, like somewhere between like 1 and 2K USD for every day she was in jail. Now, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go to a Bali prison for $1,000 a day. I wouldn't do it for like $1 million a day. But it's like, is the payday worth the time? And I think billions is definitely worth 4 years. Fuck yeah. I think most people would agree.
Yeah.
Hey,
I think that, guys. I don't think that.
Oh, do you want to do an outro, Sammy?
No, it's all good. So I'm gonna get up early tomorrow for work. But thanks for having me. I'll talk to you soon.
Cheers, Sammy.
See ya.
See you, Sammy.
Bye.
Yeah, I think you know, I think that everyone can win in you know, it's so small. It's so small. I think that every long-term wise, everyone can win.
Dude,
just because it's so small. Dude,
I typically don't do this. I typically do not do this. But there's something that I know about HEX that if people knew it, they would literally just be going all in. Like, and I hate doing that shit because it's like it's normally fake, but this is actually real. And I know that doesn't give it any added credibility. That makes it sound worse. But actually,
do I know? I know what this is?
No. Anyone that is watching from the Tang Gang in the gated community knows what I'm talking about. So they will be able to verify later in retrospect that I'm not talking shit. Yeah. Someone coming to the HEX community because of the Tang. I think it's because of the Tang gang. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's directly from the Tang gang, but this is how I found the information, was from that gated. So someone coming to the HEX community that trumps anyone that you've ever seen join any other fucking crypto community ever. Like such a level of fame that I don't even know if I'm allowed to be saying this. I guess I'm not dropping any names, but yeah, there's like a mega.
Why can't you say it?
Because not public.
What have you signed? But what have you signed?
No, because it's.
Did you sign an NDA?
Out of respect for the Tang gang, I'm not going to pre-announce this before there's actually the official stream. Like, so no, I did not sign an NDA, but I respect the fuck out of the Tang gang.
You've got a
the Tang gang. I'm not going to say the Tang gang
Okay.
made me, but like the Tang gang supported my Dillies Down Under streams until it got off the ground. The Tang gang has been like fully supportive of like anytime I'm streaming on any channel, even if I'm not specifically talking about the Tang gang, they will show up. The free alpha in there and the free shit has just been absolutely off its dial. I'm getting sent free money like every fucking day. It's just relentless. So I wouldn't like, I'm not going to do some shit that's going to get kicked me out of like the greatest fucking community that's ever existed in all of crypto.
That's
like,
fair enough.
Why would I do that?
Bro, that is definitely.
Yeah, so this is not like about my legal requirements.
Like they've treated you well, and you want to show them the respect of respecting the privacy of the room. I think that's. I actually really respect that sort of that vibe. I tried to hold to that.
But I mean,
as well.
it's partly selfish, right? like I'd be getting kicked out and not getting any of those benefits anymore.
Yeah.
So that's the selfish part, and then the noble part is
there's a self-preservation.
It's both. It's
like
both.
there's
It's both.
a self-preservation element to loyalty and respecting people's privacy and the privacy of a closed room.
Also,
absolutely.
Have you seen these guys murk? Like literally anyone that goes against the Tang gang has got like probably about 4 hours or less to completely delete every social media profile, like bin every computer, light all their fucking paperwork on fire, burn their house down, and go and live in a Faraday cage out in the fucking forest. Like these dudes come in.
I'm surprised they haven't. I'm surprised they haven't gone after me after like you.
No, you've never said any shit that's like people. They encourage people to be genuinely inquisitive and genuinely critical of them. So nothing that you have ever said would classify as something that they would come and digitally murk your ass.
That's true. I've never said anything.
Your shit's always been genuine and legit when it's been to do with anything, but specifically to do with the Tang gang as well. Yeah. So yeah, no one's got anything to fear. It's pretty rare that they murk people. Like it's pretty rare. They don't go looking for fights, bro. Like as in, it's literally only if someone says, "Hey, can we fight?" And they're like, "No, dude. Like you're not worth our time." And then they're just like, if they keep going, keep wanting it, eventually it's just going to be like, "All right, I need to stomp this motherfucker." So it's pretty rare. We've seen it only like a handful of times, but dude, it's so brutal when it happens, man. Holy shit! Like even when it's someone that has attacked me, so I'm actually in a mindset of fuck this guy. It gets to a point where I feel bad. For like maybe only a split second, by the way. And then I remember that they're a fuckwit. But like I get to a point where I'm like, oh, damn, that is so savage, bro. Holy crap. I see shit come through the Telegram where I'm like, damn. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like as in it's bad in a good way. It's savage.
Dude, I've got a clip here. If you're happy to see it, watch another clip. It's from like actually, I'll just play it and I'll let you like decide what you think.
You're going a soft coup. And the idea is to create a whole new set of laws and ignore the existing human rights laws and other laws under the pretext of pandemic preparedness and the biosecurity agenda. the WHO is developing through all its nations, but with the WHO Directorate in the United States in charge, a pandemic treaty and amendments to the existing international health regulations that will remove the human rights protections currently embedded in the IHRs, will enforce surveillance, censorship, get rid of freedom of speech, require governments to censor and only push a single narrative. Also, we will be subject, if they can make this work, to vaccines developed in 100 days, which the organization CEPI is planning to do. And one of the people who founded CEPI was Jeremy Farrar, who is now the chief scientist at the WHO, to bring this forward. Other things that the amendments do is to bind the states so they're no longer recommendations but enforceable edicts, provide a liability shield, get rid of intellectual property rights, move supplies from one country to another, enforce digital passports, and the Director General of WHO can demand that a pandemic or a potential pandemic exists. He can just declare it with no standards, and then countries around the world will have to obey. Also, the WHO will tell you what drugs you can and can't use in your nation once a pandemic is declared. Obviously, the budget will increase. One Health is another part of this. One Health is a concept that was created to enable the WHO, with these documents, to take over jurisdiction of everything in the world by saying that climate change, animals, plants, water systems, ecosystems are all central to health. Also embedded in this concept is a peculiar notion that humans are no longer of greater value than animals.
Bro, I only have 2 comments. One is that chick is my new hero. That was laid it all out exactly what I would want to say as to what the problem is. Perfect, like perfectly concise, excellent delivery. And the only other comment I have is fucking bring it, because if they do that shit, I get to tick my one and only bucket list item, which is flipping police cars and burning fucking buildings down to the ground. In fact, that second part, I just added it especially for this. I actually only just want to flip police cars. That's the only thing on my bucket list. Burning the building down will be a fucking bonus. I will not stand for that shit, dude. Not at all. That's not on the bingo card, and I won't allow it to fucking join the fucking situation at all.
Dude,
I'll die on that hill, bro.
It's hilarious, man. Like, no, but what you're saying, like that shit that she's talking about, like this, it seems like it's some fucking
dystopian nightmare
movie or
something.
Dystopian
nightmare, and she's publicly
so
laying it out for everyone. And if anyone disagrees with her, they are either like, well, we know the categories, yeah, like lying, fucking such low IQ that they're totally tarded, cognitive dissonance, living in fear so that they can't even allow their mind to realize that that is true, or some of them. I might be missing a couple of categories, but we know the categories.
But it's our governments and the politicians in government that are allowing, like, are passing legislation to allow WHO to have that sort of like that sort of control.
They
over
could
the country.
theoretically also be victims.
Like, it's unacceptable.
They could theoretically also be victims. You know how those mofos roll, right? They roll up for a meeting and they say, "Hey, man, so if you do what we say, your entire family gets riches beyond your wildest dreams for the rest of your life and your children's children's children. If you don't do what we say, then everyone that you just thought of as I painted that utopian narrative for you, they all have a really bad time with you being last." And then people are like, oh, well, that's a difficult decision to be making. That literally 99.999% of humans would not have the balls to choose correctly and ethically in that situation. So it's pretty bad. It's bad. It's real bad.
So
and that's why we won't allow it.
That's a tough situation. Do you think that's what's going on? Do you think that it's that explicit?
I actually don't even think they need to go to that level, because the people that are in those positions are already bitch made, and they don't even.
I agree.
I reckon they just say, "Hey, let's go for a nice dinner, and I'll buy you an expensive bottle of wine, and then how about you just do whatever the fuck I say."
I think it's we can write really big checks to your
yeah. So there's some money involved, but it probably wouldn't even be legacy wealth. It'd probably just be like less than we make on like an altcoin trade. It's disgusting. But dude, I shouldn't sound so negative. That fills me with hope that there's at least a voice in the there's at least a voice within the fucking earshot of these fucking idiots that they are forced to listen to, bro. They're forced to listen to. I bet there would have been people in that room doing the like da 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 da, playing tunes in their mind, trying desperately not to listen to those words.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
yeah,
bro,
Ash. Only kale eaters. Only kale eaters don't get it.
I try not to lump. As long
as you eat it with meat.
Rabbit food. So, look,
No, kale's hardcore, dude. It's very thick. So if you cook it right, and you what I do is I boil it, and then after that I'll put some onion in a pan, and I'll fry the onion a little bit, and then I'll put the boiled kale in the pan with the onion, and then I'll put some olives in it at the end, and it's actually just not as a side to like a steak. It's a nice green to have.
Bro,
sorry, that was a bit of a tangent.
So one of the things that pained me the most about that extended bear market and the early bull, which was just mainly sideways, all the people who share my ethical framework, at least where it matters most, who were really well funded, and so that they had all their free time, so that the money that they had made off the bull market had freed up their time, but also gave them the economic energy to do what is right and make positive change in the world, all got fucking wrecked and had to go back and get jobs, and had to start having maybe not scarcity mindset, but had to start worrying about money again, which is the trap that they use to, like Sammy said it earlier in the stream. Once they've got you enslaved to your debt, it's very difficult to start making positive change in the world, right? You have to spend your day and your focus and everything on survival, even though I don't mean literal survival like food and shelter. I mean just surviving the modern world.
Although it is getting, but it is getting that way.
Yes.
People.
So
it is getting that way.
This bull market,
groceries are not cheap,
and that's true as well. That the problem that those fuckers caused of who we need to fight against, that shit propagates. The wealth gap increases. The groceries get more expensive, so people get further and further into that. Oh shit! How am I going to afford to live? Right? This bull market.
So if you had a bare minimum of disposable income. If you have a bare minimum of disposable income, just minor increases in the prices of groceries now mean that you have no disposable income.
Yes.
And those people, it is a matter
going
of
up, so
whether they can eat or not.
Mortgage repayments and rents and shit go up, groceries go up, all the expenses go up. They create they don't create, but as in conspiracy theorists would say that all the stuff that they do that fucks up all the energy shit, in terms of doing renewables and then and doing away with old school energy and then fucking it all up, so that then you've got parts of Europe that don't have sufficient energy and shit like that. Energy costs go up.
Turning off the nuclear power plants,
and so it makes it harder and harder to be free.
Germany has
financially.
Germany. Think about this for Europe, right? Germany was energy independent. They had nuclear power, and they've turned them off. and now they rely on energy sources from external energy sources. So, can I ask you what are your thoughts on nuclear
Dude,
power
if anyone
plants?
was going to be able to run a nuclear power plant without fucking it up, it's Germans. Like, so they should have been the only, like, the first country to get the license. You guys can run nuclear, and then if you guys can't get it to work, then no one's allowed to do it. That should have like, give it to the fucking most meticulous and that heritage of engineering greatness. Give it to that country, maybe Japan, but Japan's difficult because of its it's tectonic fucking positioning, right? Like it's a fucking island, so it's like it's got some issues there. But
you would think Australia would have, like,
as long as they got the Germans to build it. Like I don't know. Like you're right that they could have put, dude. Like if this was a computer game,
it's like a no-brainer. I can't understand why we've got all these. Oh, you know, I'm cool with renewables. I'm fine, but like they don't last forever. They have to be replaced after like 15 years, 20 years maybe. Maybe they make them better and they last for 20, 30 years maybe, but they have to be renewed eventually. And everyone needs to get them. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of, and maybe that's what the plan is. Like all that work is.
Like the argument is that if you gave up because of that reason, then you would never develop those technologies. So you have to suffer through. Like, look at do you guys remember the Toyota Prius or whatever it was called? I think it was like one of the first hybrid cars. It was fucking garbage. It was complete garbage. But it's like now you've got Teslas. Like it's, even though actually, sorry, that's not a good analogy because Teslas are full electric, not hybrid. But there are some pretty good hybrids out there. I think I don't drive them. Like all my cars are full petrol. But
no, I think there are. I think they're like the Prius is still around.
They probably have a genuine. But the point here is that this hyperbull is going to re-empower the people who I give a shit about having money and influence, and they can't stop it. It's not stoppable. It's what Cookies calls a quantum checkmate. If the government moves, they get decapitated. If they stay where they are, they fade into irrelevance. They
have to print.
No, I'm saying directly their involvement with crypto. If they move and get involved in crypto, we decapitate them because we run that fucking shit. We were here before them. We know how the shit works. They're coming into our playground. It's too late, right? You can't. Yeah,
they can't
your
compete.
Government can't get more Bitcoin than me and my boys. Like, as in, we've got more. We've got more Bitcoin than your government can acquire. So you can come and play and make us richer than your country, or you can stay still and fade into irrelevance. Like you can not play with crypto and you end up just fading out.
And if they try to regulate, like devs can
we just
code their way
their shit.
around that bullshit in an afternoon while eating fucking chisels, mate.
The quote I heard recently that was so powerful, it's like 1,000 lawyers at the SEC can't decide whether the fucking top 5 cryptocurrencies are securities or not. But they also, in the same breath, expect a 20-year-old developer in the States to just know the difference. And you need to know whether you're dealing with a fucking security or not. Otherwise, your ass could end up in a cage. Sorry, guys. The time for you to be so fucking out of your fucking mind, bonkers, insane clown world shit, that ends now with the start of the hyperbull. Now we are enthusiastic. We're energized. We are well-funded, and we will fuck your shit up if you do not fucking step correct. And spoiler alert, this is a fucking minefield that you are moonwalking through. We are going to fuck you up. I also stole that one from Cookies, by the way. That's what Cookies. He's got a lot of great quotes. By the way, I think that's part of the success of the Tang Gang is not. And look, he's not doing anything that is like future work or any shit that's a problem. It's just people have come to the Tang Gang because they love hearing him fucking. He slays motherfuckers, which people used to love when Richard would do that shit. And he speaks clearly and intelligently about things to do with crypto, explains it in a way that you can understand it, and pulls the curtain back on all the nonsense that goes on in crypto. So people flood to that shit because it's so very similar to why people were magnetized to Richard Hart. They're like, oh shit, this motherfucker is telling me things that is preventing me from taking fucking L's daily. So, but then as a side benefit to the Tang Gang, it makes the whole fucking group look vibrant and engaged. So I'm possibly giving him a bit too much credit. Like, I don't want this to sound like there's a Richard Hart motherfucker in the group that is like bringing the fucking
bro,
community
you're gonna give
together.
him a big head.
But he's definitely a key part of it, man.
He's
He's definitely done a lot for the group.
Dude, you're gonna give him a big head.
I don't think that's possible,
And then
man. His
when he
ego's
meets
maxed
you
out.
in-
No, that's not true. No, that's not true. It's not on a Richard Hart level yet. But like it, so I don't know, man. Like he's pretty.
But if
he's
you-
pretty
if you-
level-headed.
if you,
I don't
like-
I don't think he. I don't
Yeah.
think he really gives a
everything
fuck
I've heard
about
him
the
ever
opinions of
say,
others.
like
I really don't.
yeah, what I've heard him say when I've heard him on Twitter Spaces or like on the odd stream here and there. There's not a lot of his stuff out there, but he's always seemed like a very well thought out person.
Yeah.
Like he's thought through everything. That's what it comes across as. Whether maybe he's just coming up with it on the spot.
If he
I
gave a
don't know.
shit about what of people's opinions of him, I think you would see at least subtly different behavior out of him. Like it's almost like he's just got this fucking obsession with just putting the truth on blast. And so, and he doesn't care about casualties. He doesn't care about your feelings. He doesn't give a fuck about any of that shit. He understands that the mission statement is far more important than your fucking feelings. And so, yeah, and that's not aimed at you, by the way. It's like, that's everyone that's listening. So,
yeah.
So yeah, dude, I think
I'm pretty hardy when it comes to that, man. I'm pretty hardy when it comes to all that stuff. I agree with it as well.
Would be like boosting his ego. He'd probably just be like, yeah, whatever, tangent, said some shit.
I actually agree with that. Feelings are not really. You can
your feelings don't matter when
especially if
we're
you're
on
like
a mission for freedom, like as in,
and especially if you're a grown ass man, like. If you're a grown-ass man,
this is the Andrew Tate thing.
Like,
this is the Andrew Tate. No one gives a fuck about your feelings. Oh, you're sad today? No one gives a fuck. You're the only person that cares about that. And at least you should, because by your actions, it doesn't look like you care about that shit. And no one else is coming to your house to cheer you the fuck up, especially if you're a man. So get the fuck out of bed, do some push-ups, fucking and let's take this fucking win together. Like, but don't join his paid crew. Like, so take an example of that shit.
There's only a couple of reasons to feel sad in my mind. There's only a couple of reasons to feel sad, and I can't even think of those reasons. I can think of just one. If maybe a loved one.
Yeah,
like passes on. That's
the
only thing I can think to the top.
Dude,
like off
someone
my
dying's
head,
probably not even anywhere near the fucking worst shit. Like, there's truly terrible things that can happen in this world. Like, you know?
Oh yeah. No, but I'm saying what actually because.
But that's a genuine reason to be sad. That's a genuine reason to be sad.
For example, a week or two ago, I was saying how shitty I felt by just watching some of the stuff that was going on in the world, right? And I think you actually said to me, dude, you can't let that shit get you down. And I'm like, no, well, it's not getting me. Like, it's just fucking. This shit's never going to end because we're fucking. We're
I also
apes.
take the attitude that they're curating that information to get that response out of you. So if they can get that emotional response out of me, then they win with their propaganda. And you can tell it's propaganda because it's coming out of both sides and the story's completely different. So,
but people are dying regardless. People were dying, and that's what I was upset about.
Well, you wouldn't be a human. You wouldn't be a living, breathing, thinking, feeling human if you could literally look at content like that and not feel anything. That would be a bad thing, right? Like you either be on some serious heavy medication or there's something wrong with you. So it's okay to be human, but I guess we just need to keep in the back of our minds that they are trying to manipulate us. And I'm using the generic they, but you get what I'm saying, like the structure.
When you have someone or even a pet, if you got someone in your life that's close to you and they pass on, that is as sad. There's not many things that are going to make you sadder than that, right? And that is a legitimate, in my mind, that's a legitimate thing to be as a man, a legitimate thing
so when I was quite young,
you're going to give yourself time. You're going to give yourself time to come to terms with it, because you never get over shit like that. You never get over it. You always will feel sad about that when you think about it. You just get used to it. You just get used to living with it, and you accept it. And that can be with people who have pets as well.
Find ways to reframe it, or
well, I think that's a part of the process.
Yeah,
that's a part of the process of coming to terms with it.
Dude, when I was a lot younger, a friend of mine said to another friend, this conversation didn't involve me, but I just witnessed it, where he said, the genders don't matter, actually. This person was sad, and this other person said, hey, what the fuck are you going to do when some real shit comes along? You're sad about this thing that happened, basically in a way made them feel pathetic, which is maybe not the right strategy. It makes someone feel like a dumbass for being sad about something, because it feels real at the time, right?
Hang on, what was the thing? Was the thing just some random bullshit?
I think it was like a fucking relationship breakdown or something. Dude, this is a fair way. This is fair. I was young. This is a fair while ago, so I don't remember the exact details. But I don't remember the exact details, but I remember this guy saying it, and it stuck with me. And I remembered it for the rest of my life. Whenever I ever started feeling sad about any shit, it would always come to my mind: is this worth actually wrecking my fucking day? And if I allow this to wreck my day, what the fuck am I gonna what am I gonna do when real shit that is almost certainly coming for me in my life? What am I gonna do at that point? Am I gonna fucking go fetal and be non-functional? Where are the levels at? I need to calibrate my shit now for pretty likely eventualities. You know what I mean? So
exactly. Yeah, there's some things that you can sort of predict, right?
Yes.
There's some things that are going to happen that we can predict. You don't even want to say them because they're awful to think about.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So,
do you know, I said something, I had this realization. I was at a concert. I think I actually tweeted it out. I was watching this light show and music. It was the Prodigy. They came back to Perth or whatever, as in they're actually Perth boys, but they were playing in Perth. And I was watching their show, and I had this realization. I was like, holy shit. Everything that we do in our lives is either a celebration of how brief our existence is or an attempted distraction from it. And I tried to think of things that don't fit into those two categories, and I was unable to.
Can you repeat those two categories?
So everything that we do is either a celebration of how short our existence is or an attempted distraction from that fact, i.e. distracting ourselves, so busy with work, doing some shit, I'm out partying, whatever, is I don't want to think about the fact that I'm going to fucking end at some point. Or I deeply know that is the case, and I am going to party and do fun shit and really appreciate every moment, observe the universe around me, observe, be in wonder of the miracles that is even just something simple like a fucking tree, how it works and how it integrates with the rest of the shit that's going on.
Wait, what does this have to do with the Prodigy?
No, I just had the realization at their concert.
Oh.
And I wasn't on drugs, by the way, if anyone's thinking that.
But by the way, I agree with Ash in the comments.
It was a fucking not that I take drugs on the weekend, but I'm just saying I definitely was not high. It was not a high realization.
Dude, I'm a fucking fan of the Prodigy.
By the way, drugs do typically help with that shit. Like, as in, and in fact, we're thinking about trying to change the language because drugs got such a negative connotation surrounding it that it's like, it implies. So notice how the same compound, if it's by a, you know what, let's not get into it. I'm going to start sounding like a mad conspiracy theorist. But yeah, we're doing good things. We're doing good things.
Dude, you just made me think of how much I loved the Prodigy back in the day.
Dude, that shit is sick. Dude, bro. Try and name other groups that have stayed relevant throughout a multi-decade career and also very rarely got criticism from their fan base for either selling out or always producing the same shit over and over and over and over. Dude, that is a tightrope walk. That is literally a razor blade's edge of your fan base. Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
Dude, my mate used to have a VL Calais, and he used to have some big speakers in it, and we used to listen to this. And you know the part of this song that's coming up right now?
Yeah.
It used to sound so fucking good in his car.
I've got the poison. I've also got the remedy.
It's coming up any second. Here it is.
Yeah, dude, I can imagine this fat in-car sound system would be fucking bonkers.
Dude, it was. I better get rid of that.
Oh yeah, shit, dude. Copyright. Are you on dual channel this week or single?
No, we're on ours. So.
Oh, thank God. Because some of the stuff that I've been saying is like edging right over to like your channel just being completely obliterated forever.
Yeah. I try and stay.
I should have actually shit. Dude, you actually please remind me whenever we're also on the other channel because I'll just be out of respect. I'll just be like a lot.
I think I did. I said this time under the link I wrote DeFi Down Under channel.
Yeah, so I can't read though. So I'm just kidding.
I think I will. I'll write down whenever. But what we do is we do 1 week on, 1 week off usually. That's what we do with Discourse Syndicate. So this week we're just DeFi Down Under. So this is the channel where I sort of don't mind trying it out. We don't get enough views to get copyright striked, I don't think.
Yeah, shit, dude. All right, I might. Should we tie it up?
Let's wrap it up, man.
I think we covered a lot of cool topics, and shockingly to me, this was not like so. So I guess this would be my outro, right? Like I'm calm and ready. Partially because of my experience level, partly because of my like. I don't know if I mentioned on this stream previously, I stopped going out. That is bonkers for me. Me not going out on the weekend, like at all, like not at least once is insanity. It literally never happens. I started doing that a couple of months ago, maybe. So there's probably been sort of like between 8 to 10 weeks that I have like just dedicated myself full time to crypto. I stopped fucking with AI, just went full time crypto and stopped going out except for like very rare shit that was like important for me to go to, like that Prodigy concert. And because I knew or I was highly convicted that it was not the time to fuck around, right? And I was public about that as well. I was like, this is not the time to be fucking around. Right?
That was the perfect time to be head in crypto.
Dude, that's why I did it. Me absolutely. Not going out is the highest level of extreme that it can get. For some people, it's just like not spending money, even though I was doing that as well. Like I literally noticed I had holes in some of my socks. And I was like, I'm not buying new socks until this fucking bull market. I'm not doing it. Like I want every single dollar that I can get my fucking hands on in crypto, right? All in. So that happened. And now obviously it's like pretty obvious to anyone that's paying attention. And even actually, I'm getting a lot of messages. So even people that are not paying attention to crypto, this was the wake up call. If that fake pump to like 30K didn't wake people the fuck up, all the trending on social, all that shit, all of that stuff, if that didn't wake people up, then this now that we've gone above that and now we're like pumping, I'm seeing the hashtag Bitcoin trending on Twitter like every fucking day. People are messaging me like, hey, like, what's up with this Bitcoin pump? Is there a reason for it? All the standard shit, right? But notice how it happens earlier in the cycle. Every cycle, it happens earlier. So it used to be that getting messages from your friends was a top signal. That's not the case anymore because now all your friends know about crypto. So as soon as they hear it's pumping, they want to know what's going on. So everything comes, the Uber drivers talking about it, hairdressers talking about it. It happens earlier and earlier and earlier in each cycle.
Is that the longer that you've been in crypto, the earlier it happens to you?
Yes, I've noticed that transition from cycle to cycle, right? Like my first cycle, it never happened. We went to the top and no one in the public really knew. It was the crash. It was like the Mt. Gox crash that fucking caused the general public to even really hear about it. That was the news that reached the public, sort of. Even then, I actually don't think that hit the not in a big way. Like I don't think it I don't think so. Anyway, certainly that has certainly been my experience. That's the problem with the like, oh, I'm just gonna learn what happened last cycle and use those indicators. Wrong, because so those things that used to be top signals, celebrities buying NFTs, sorry, that's not a top signal anymore. Katy Perry painting her fucking nails, celebrities shilling crypto, no, sorry, that's all going to happen way earlier in the cycle, right? So early that some influencers, some celebrities were even getting involved in crypto in the bear. Like, so
are you going to like finish this with?
Yeah, sorry.
No.
Where I'm going
with
with
this.
this.
Let me. I wasn't trying to cut you off. I was saying,
Okay.
are you going to finish this with a prediction of what could be the type of thing that's at that marks the top of the next cycle?
No, absolutely not. Because that sort of thing's really hard to predict. Like, I would need to think. I haven't even thought about it because I don't care where the top is. My crypto strategy now does not involve me needing to call a top. Like that is like irrelevant to me. So I haven't even thought about like, how am I going to know when it's the top? I don't give a fuck, because any attempt to do that is very likely you're going to get wrecked. And that's even for me, who's been in crypto for a really long time. Like, so if you're new to crypto and you're trying to hit top, I've got bad.
Without giving anything away, I mean, anything too specific, what can you give like any indication of what's entailed in that strategy?
Oh no, it's far too complicated to like. It's not. Right. It's not like I look for this and then I sell it, or like no. Like this is like my shit is like
complex. Yeah,
it's super complex, super complex. So sorry. Like I genuinely don't have any. Like, hey, this is a part of my strategy that you can implement in your life. Like that doesn't exist.
And that's not the type of show that this is anyway, is it? It's not. We don't give.
But if I had something like that, I would say it. Like if I had something where I'm like, I think it would be smart for people to sort of, like if I had some generic commentary, anything that I have that's generically valuable, you guys already know it. Like it's the stuff that is already really propagated through the HEX and PulseChain community. Those sorts of general rules for how to not get wrecked. That's the only generic shit that I've got. And you guys already know it. So sorry, where I was going with my like outro was shit. What? Sorry guys, I was building up to something.
I'm sorry, dude. I sort of got you off track.
Fuck. Where was I going? What was I talking about? It was.
You were saying.
Oh, I guess I was talking about. Look, I will say this, right? I think I sort of said this earlier. I don't think I don't think it's a good idea. Like, so, and this is not to take shots at you again, but like, I really don't think it's a good idea to look for patterns. And I know that sounds stupid coming from someone who does TA, but both categories of people will be wrong out of, I'm going to look at what's happened in the past and assume that that's going to be like really close to what's going to happen. That model is broken. And if it isn't for you, it will break at some point. But it's also just as dangerous to be like, it's going to be completely different. It's a paradigm shift. That also doesn't exist. You need to get a balance. Both have elements of truth to them. But if you subscribe too strongly to any one, you will get fucking wrecked. So expect the unexpected. Anything is possible. The thing that's pretty obvious from here is that we're going to get a good run. Like from here, at least until the end of the year, like and early next year, I would say we've got 4 to 6 months of really exciting crypto shit. And in my opinion, PulseChain is the best place. We have built the fuck out of this ecosystem. It's still young enough that there's things to look forward to, which Ivan on Tech correctly points out that that's the best thing for price. If you say, here you go, here's the thing, it's already perfect, which I guess like maybe was part of HEX's downfall, like at the top or whatever, that there was nothing to look forward to. It was already pretty much perfect as far as DeFi goes. Certainly not the reason for the crash, but maybe a factor. Ivan correctly points out that when you've got constant things to look forward to, it's the Cardano strategy, right? It's like, and apologies for the diode fail, but we're so bullish now, it doesn't matter. Like, as in, yeah, their coins can also have little baby pumps. I don't give a fuck. Like, we're the ones that are going to be putting in the mad gains, right? Everyone else in crypto is going to have to sit by and watch as the Tang Gang plays a fucking game of football against themselves and literally just decides not to play because they've already fucking won. It's like a scratch match where it's like, hey, do you guys just want to go and kick the ball around and have fun rather than competing because we've literally already won the fucking game? Like, that's how obvious it is.
Speaking of football, I'm just going to quickly jump in. That's something I'm going to do in the next bull run. I'm definitely going to buy a foosball table.
Oh, that's a cool idea. Definitely. Man. I might join you on that idea.
Put it on the list of my stand-up mower
of your bull market buys. Yeah,
my bull market. I'm getting a stand-up mower. The ones that you can stand on.
Dude, I've got the space for it. I should definitely get one, man.
What, a stand-up mower or a foosball table?
No. Sorry. The foosball table. Sorry. Dude, I was so latched onto the foosball idea. I didn't even realize that you said another fucking item. No.
Yeah, that's my item from like 3 weeks
I don't do gardening, bro. I don't do gardening. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't do gardening. You should only be doing gardening if you really deeply enjoy it. That's the only time you should.
Cutting the lawn is very therapeutic. Very therapeutic. It looks like shit before you start. 20 minutes later, it looks amazing. Bro, it's like doing your bed, but for a man.
In my opinion, and I know you disagree with this, but in my opinion, the Tang Gang started the bull market for PulseChain and the broader crypto market. If you get the opportunity to thank the Tang Gang for not only starting the fucking bull market, but having the community is dominantly built on PulseChain, everyone should say thank you. Like, everyone should be thanking the Tang Gang for, even though they are multi-chain, but it's most focused on PulseChain. And that is very, very, very lucky. Sorry?
I'm going to thank the Tang Gang for saying that they created the bull market, because that is an elite marketing strategy that I respect, even if I don't actually agree that it's true. So I'm going to thank them for having good strategy in their marketing message.
But they genuinely believe it. They're not doing a psyop.
Yeah, that's okay.
When they say they started the bull market, they're not like, hey, let's lie to everyone and say this. They genuinely believe that shit with objectively verifiable evidence. Like, but the point is, I am very thankful that the Tangang decided to have the primary chain as PulseChain, even though they are a multi-chain community, which has actually also brought in so many talented people in all disciplines, artists, tech people, devs, and shit like that. The Tangang has drawn in the greatest talent from all chains by being, and then told all of those people, hey, the main chain of the Tangang is PulseChain. So it's like you couldn't pray to God and have him grant a fucking miracle for your PulseChain bag that is better than what the Tangang has done and will continue to do. That is facts. So I'm very thankful to them of doing that, and I also am just pumped about this hyper bull market. And yeah, it's let's just do this. Let's just fucking do this. Start here.
Let's do it. And I'm going to quickly address the people in the chat. Tangent and me already argued about the call that he made about the Tangang.
Are people disagreeing?
We've already argued about it earlier, early in the stream. I said what I said.
Are they new to crypto? Are these guys new to crypto? They think the Tangang didn't start the bull market. I thought
we already,
bro. By the way, this is surprising me for two reasons, right? The first one is that typically the only people that fucking show up are the Tangang. So it surprises me that there's even anyone showing up in the chat that is like, because everyone else just went home while we were like out there fucking pushing the fucking cart up a fucking hill. And then the second thing that surprised me is that if there is other people in the chat, obviously that first one, I'm exaggerating a bit. Obviously we have an audience that's not just Tangang. They just dominate. Yeah, because we've looked into it, but people that are coming into the chat saying that that's not the case, it would surprise me if they've done like excessive due diligence on this topic within the 2 minutes that it took between them hearing me say it and them chirping in the chat about it. So you can tell just by timing that they are full of shit and haven't actually looked into it, because they wouldn't even be able to formulate an educated opinion in the amount of time that it took them to type the message to say the Tangang did not start the bull market, and then be seen to be factually incorrect.
So Brizology, you've come in at the end of the stream, so.
Oh, Brizology. Bro. Dude,
Brizology's coming at the end of the stream.
He was a PHEX maxi, dude. Now he's not got no credibility.
Right. Hey, listen, dude, listen. I've got to.
Dude, look, PMaxis don't even get opinions anymore, bro. Like, I know that sounds extreme, but like,
that's not how we. No, that's not.
I know. Freedom of speech and all that, but like, as in, you just have to calibrate they're allowed to speak, but you just calibrate their opinion down to zero value. Like,
I'm happy, dude. I'm happy for everyone to have their own opinions on what they think is right and wrong.
Yeah, they're allowed to be wrong.
I'm not even going to disagree with anyone.
They're allowed to be wrong about the Tangang starting.
The only thing I did disagree about is I did say at the beginning of this stream when you brought up that about the Tangang starting the bull market. I said I told you I disagree, but I'm happy for you to think that that's what happened. That's cool, dude. You're still my boy.
Yeah, look. So we shouldn't get into.
We already did it.
Yeah, we did, and also against the chat as well. Like, as in terms of like, there's no point. Like, as in, I think most people in the chat probably have already made up their minds.
If I get to meet Brizology, I'm going to give him a hug, dude. I don't give a fuck about any of the other shit. Do you know what I mean? I don't care about anything else. It doesn't bother me because I know the guy's a nice guy.
Yeah, that's fine. Like, as in, it's what I said is factually accurate though. Like, that if someone's coming in and within an amount of time that they haven't even had time to go and look at whether what I'm saying is accurate or not, they've already got an opinion and they're shouting it. That's woke shit. That's what the wokes do. And that's why they get most things wrong. Like, actually pretty much everything. But it's basically, it's woke culture, bro. It's like I'm going to have an opinion and then I'm right just because it's my opinion. Like, that's how retarded it is. And so I encourage them to come, although with the way they behave, they'll probably get kicked out of the Tangang not kicked out. They'll probably remove themselves just out of having negative vibes within like a few minutes of arrival. But I encourage them to actually look at the data, look at the evidence. How many how many rock bands and Playboy models have they onboarded to PulseChain within the last, ever really? Let's just set the time zone on ever, because I'm sure that their track record and score on the scoreboard, dude. The Tangang wakes up every day and checks the scoreboard, and their name is at the top of the scoreboard, but it's just that the score just gets higher and higher and higher every day. Like that's how it goes. So if people want to come into the chat and say that Tangang aren't running shit, then that's cool. They can have that opinion, but they're just objectively wrong.
But Tangent, you've always said that the Tangang are hexagons, yeah?
Of course, yeah. That's why people should be stoked. Like, well, sorry, it's multi-chain. Like, as in they've drawn in talent from all over the world. Like that is even no coiners have joined the Tangang. So, but you are right. There are many hexagons. In fact, all the hexagons that matter, like as in. I shouldn't say all, because there might be edge cases that I'm forgetting, but the vast majority of hexagons that have got like a good ability to have an open mind and actually make assessments and aren't just dick riders that kind of need their thoughts made for them are already in the Tangang. So yes, there's a big representation of the hex community in the Tangang, and it continues to be, look, it's great. It's great advertising for Hex and PulseChain. Like it's brilliant. Like it's definitely symbiotic. It's definitely a net positive for crypto, for PulseChain, for Richard Hart Maxis. They can hate, but we're doing it anyway. Like we're doing it and it benefits them. So that's how much love we've got.
We've been going for
let's tie it up.
Over 2 hours. So quickly, I'm just going to look at the two hexes. This is EHEX. We're at 1 cent.
That chart is vertical, bro. That chart is fucking vertical.
This is Hex right here on Pulse.
Oh, someone says
1,
BTC
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 beautiful green candles, and we're at 1.67 cents. I feel like this is just the beginning of something.
The beginning, of course. We're at the starting line.
This is just the beginning.
We
Finished
a lot
to be excited.
The
no reason. There's no reason for us to be ever disagreeing about anything, because we all love GAINZ.
We're heading to GAINZ. 35K again on Bitcoin. So, dude, we've finished the fucking grind phase. We've finished the grind phase.
Yes,
and now we get to start.
Now we get some volatility.
Fun, make money and celebrate it phase. Now, for anyone who is on this, and by the way, I've been on Crypto 7 every week all year saying, do not get caught napping at the fucking wheel. It's on record. I've said it every fucking episode. This is how I've been phrasing it. And sorry, this is taking a long time, but this will be my outro. What I've been saying for the entire year is everyone suffers from recency bias. They think that just because the market has been sideways-ish for a really long time, that it will continue being like that for a really long time. It is a fallacy. It is a fucking bias. What ends up happening is the longer it's been fucking going sideways for, when it fucking breaks hard. Wall Street has a saying, the bigger the base, the higher into space. I have been warning people all year that if they get caught on the wrong side of when the run starts, they will get left behind. Now, it's not too late. It's not too late. I can't give you financial advice. You have to decide what's right for you. But it's definitely not too late. At some point, it will be too late. That if people are like, oh, I've got all these stable coins now and I didn't get back in the market, but maybe I'll wait for a pullback. It's like, okay, you do you. But when the momentum is strong, sometimes you don't get pullbacks, or you will get pullbacks, but they'll be at such a high level that you're buying a pullback that's still the bottom of the pullback is still higher than the price that it is right now. That is possible.
Bro,
I can't tell the future, but I'm just warning everyone, and I've been warning everyone all year. Now, motherfuckers that are on the sidelines, they need to make that. It's harder for them now. They've put themselves, so people that were sitting all in stables thinking that Richard was right about 11K and pray, they are now in a much more difficult position than people who were at least partially exposed. because they're like, now I need to risk that I'm going in here, and then this is some kind of like local top bull trap fucking, and then we go to 11K, which by the way is also possible. So you've put those people have put themselves in a difficult position. We tried to warn against it, and now I can't make that decision for them. They need to fucking make it for themselves. But
DCA, baby. DCA.
DCA is an acceptable strategy.
That's awesome, dude. Thank you very much. We've had a stream with all emotions.
We've covered everything.
Do
you mean this stream or a different stream?
This stream. We've laughed, we've cried, we've argued, we've bickered, we've done everything. That's a good point, man.
Yeah, I like it.
You know, and you know,
actually, dude,
I enjoy
you're
having
right.
streams with you.
Dude, you're right. This stream was sort of like, dude, maybe it's as the bull market starts and it's that relief and shit, and then you're able to like experience all the emotions that you've just been suppressing while you've been grinding or something, and you're just like, fuck, I'm fucking.
And by the way, big shout out to you. Tangent is the man with the longest outros in the game. It started at 140.
Setting records for outro length. Yeah, put that one on the scoreboard.
It started at 140 into the stream. It's 210 into the stream. We're going to wind it up. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Much love, and we'll see you next week. All right, we'll see you next week.